The Haitian Revolution started in 1791 at the French colony of Saint-Domingue, or present-day Haiti. France found Saint-Domingue while looking for the New World a few years earlier. Once found, France established a government under King Louis XVI. Even though it was independent, the French kept control by violence and by taking over Haiti's trading of sugar and coffee beans. At the time, sugar and coffee beans were very important to Haiti's economy, since Haiti was the main leader of these beans to exports. A group of white people called planters, people who owned many slaves and plantations, carried many illegal acts, like slave trading, growing other cash crops, and trading with the United States. During this time, the slaves outnumbered the free people, 10 to 1. The planters were afraid that the slaves were aware of this. They became harsher. The slaves then rebelled. The main influence for the rebellion was the outcome of the American Revolution. Since the slaves were skilled gunmen and couldn't use brutal force against the planters, they used poison. The knowledge of poison became known to the slaves in 1759 during the Macandal Rebellion, where slaves from Africa learned what to use for.
The slaves were led by François Dominique Toussaint Louverture. Louverture was born in 1743. He was a very educated slave. He learned different languages from missions and had knowledge of medical use from hospitals. He was also devoted to religion, but also practiced Yodo, since it was the main religious practice in Saint Dominique. At first, François wasn't involved in the rebellion. He first was involved as a doctor to the French troops. In December of 1791, he was involved in a trade where a French general and a few rebels were negotiating weapons for white prisoners the rebels had. After the French rejected the offer, Toussaint slaughtered all the prisoners. He was the leader of many rebellions and also a general of Spain. He gained many followers by the way. He taught his troops guerrilla tactics and the style of European war. In 1794, Louverture joined the French. By trying to convert to the Spanish to come to Great Britain, to come to French, he caused an uproar by having his troops from all three sides fighting. Once in Toussaint then died of the torturing the French gave him. Once the Haitians found out that he had died, Napoleonic took hold. Then he wanted to reestablish slavery like he'd done so in Guatemala. When many loyalists switched sides again in October 1802, they fought against the French. Rebel against this cause, and the French were even weakened by a British blockade sent by Victome. Then Napoleon sent many massive reinforcements. After selling the Louisiana Territory to the United States in April 1803, Napoleon began to lose interest in his failing ventures in the Western Hemisphere. Then, a former loyalist of France, Dessalines, led a rebellion until its completion when the French forces were finally defeated in 1803. The last battle of the Haitian Revolution was the Battle of Venidre, which occurred in November 1803 near the city of Cap Haitian. It was fought between Haitis and by French General Jean-Jacques Dessalines and a French colonial army under the Viscount. In 1804, from the city of Joinville, Dessalines officially declared the former colony independent, renaming it Haiti after indigenous Armagnac name.